power of avoiding wrong choice. We're often told that success comes from making the right choices, chasing the perfect job, relationship, or lifestyle. But what if the real barrier to our potential lies not in what we're doing right, but in what we're doing wrong? Bad choices don't announce themselves with warning signs. They seduce us with promises of instant gratification, pride, or comfort. By focusing on avoiding these traps, we can unlock a clearer path to fulfillment. The traps of emotion, our emotions often lead us astray. Anger, for instance, feels empowering, like a righteous stand for justice, but it often leaves behind fractured relationships and regret. Fear disguises itself as caution, keeping us safe but confined, preventing us from taking risks that could lead to growth. Grief, when unchecked, becomes a prison of the past, blinding us to present opportunities. And desire, whether for wealth, recognition, or pleasure, promises happiness but delivers a cycle of craving that never satisfies. These emotions aren't inherently bad, but when they drive our decisions unchecked, they become traps. They lure us into choices that feel right in the moment but lead to long-term pain. The first step to avoiding these pitfalls is awareness, recognizing when emotions like anger, fear, grief, or desire are steering us toward decisions that undermine our well being. The burden of attachments from childhood. We form attachments to people, possessions, status, or outcomes. We start to see these as extensions of ourselves, believing they define our worth, that this belief is flawed. Attachments create anxiety because we fear losing what we've tied our happiness to. The more we cling to wealth, the more we dread its loss. The pursuit of fame makes us slaves to others' opinions. Even love, when rooted in fear of loss, can distort into unhealthy dependence. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus likened life to a dinner party. Take what comes to you with moderation. Don't chase what passes you by, and wait patiently for what hasn't yet arrived. Attachments turn external things into conditions for our happiness, giving them power over our emotional state. By loosening our grip, we reclaim control, finding peace in our ability to choose our responses, not in the things we possess. False. Goods versus true good society bombards us with messages about what we should want: more money, status, or pleasure. These are often false goods, offering short-term satisfaction at the expense of long-term fulfillment. The Stoics argued that true goods lie in virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline, while false goods like impulsive spending, gossip, or procrastination erode our character. Consider the fleeting thrill of a new purchase versus the guilt of financial strain later, or the temporary relief of avoiding a tough task, only to face greater stress when deadlines loom. These small, seemingly harmless choices are like termites, quietly undermining the foundation of our lives. By prioritizing true goods choices, aligned with our values, we build a life of lasting satisfaction rather than chasing fleeting pleasures. The illusion of control. We often exhaust ourselves trying to control what's beyond our reach: the economy, others' opinions, or the past. This misdirected effort leaves us stressed and frustrated, like pushing a boulder uphill in a dream. The wrong choice isn't failing to plan. It's over-planning to the point of paralysis. It's not lacking ambition. It's fixating on one outcome and missing other possibilities. It's not avoiding risk. It's clinging to the illusion of certainty. The antidote is active acceptance. Instead of fighting life's uncertainties, embrace them. This doesn't mean giving up, but redirecting energy toward what you can influence: your actions, reactions, and mindset. By accepting what's beyond your control, you cultivate resilience and adaptability, freeing yourself to focus on what truly matters. A new approach to choice. We recondition to chase success through endless to-do lists. Wake up early, network, optimize. But this focus on doing more can blind us to the pitfalls of bad decisions. How much time do we lose recovering from impulsive choices or untangling their consequences? By shifting our perspective to avoid wrong choices, we create space for meaningful progress. Imagine a family dinner where everyone's glued to their phones. The parents check emails, the kids scroll social media, all believing they're staying productive or connected. But in that moment, they're sacrificing genuine connection time that can't be reclaimed. The wrong choice isn't using technology, it's letting it steal what matters most. Avoiding this mistake, perhaps by setting devices aside, fosters richer moments of togetherness. The negative space decision framework, navigate life's choices. We need a practical tool, a way to focus on the negative space of decisions, the choices to avoid. This framework involves 4 questions. What emotion is driving this decision? Identify if fear, anger, desire, or pride is clouding your judgment. Naming the emotion creates distance, allowing you to choose rationally rather than react impulsively. What am I attached to that I believe is essential to my happiness? Examine whether you're tying your worth to outcomes, possessions, or approval. Recognizing these attachments frees you from their control. Am I mistaking a false good for a true one? Question whether the choice offers fleeting pleasure or aligns with virtues like wisdom and integrity. True goods contribute to long-term flourishing. False goods lead to regret. What can I change and what must I accept? Focus your energy on what you can influence, your actions and mindset, while accepting what's beyond your control, like external events or others' choices. Putting it into practice, this framework isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Start small. The next time you face a decision, pause and ask one of these questions. Maybe it's noticing that anger is pushing you to argue, or that you're chasing a promotion for validation rather than purpose. Over time, add the other questions, building a habit of mindful decision-making. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." By avoiding the traps of unchecked emotions, unhealthy attachments, false goods, and futile control, you carve out a path to a better life. You don't need to chase every opportunity, just steer clear of the choices that hold you back. Start today, and with each deliberate step, you'll move closer to the life you want, one avoided mistake at a time. This rewritten version captures the original's key themes: avoiding wrong choices, managing emotions and attachments, distinguishing true from false goods, and accepting the uncontrollable while incorporating Stoic principles and the negative space decision framework. It's concise yet comprehensive, maintaining the philosophical depth and practical advice in a more digestible format. If you like a longer version or specific sections expanded, let me know. Expanding the negative space approach, practical steps to avoid wrong choices. The idea of focusing on avoiding wrong choices rather than chasing the right ones challenges conventional wisdom. We're conditioned to pursue success through action. Do more, achieve more, be more. But the Stoic-inspired negative space decision framework shifts the focus to discernment, helping us sidestep the emotional, psychological, and societal traps that derail our potential. Let's explore how to apply this framework in everyday life. Delve deeper into its Stoic roots and consider real-world scenarios to make it actionable. Deepening the understanding of emotional traps. Emotions are powerful drivers of behavior, but they often lead us into poor decisions. Anger, for example, can feel like a righteous response to injustice, but it frequently escalates conflicts, leaving us with fractured relationships. Fear, disguised as prudence, keeps us from taking necessary risks, trapping us in a comfort zone that stifles growth. Grief, when it lingers too long, anchors us to the past, blinding us to new possibilities. Desire, whether for wealth, status, or pleasure, lures us into a cycle of chasing more without ever finding contentment. To avoid these traps, we must first identify the emotion driving our choice. This requires pausing a simple yet powerful act. For instance, imagine you're about to send a heated email in response to a colleague's criticism. Before hitting send, ask, what emotion is driving this? If it's anger or wounded pride, pause again. Consider the long-term impact. Will this email strengthen your professional relationships or create tension? By naming the emotion, you create a mental buffer, allowing reason to guide you toward a better choice, like addressing the issue calmly. In person, releasing attachments. The Stoic art of letting go our attachments to people, possessions, outcomes, or status often fuel our worst decisions. We cling to these things, believing they define our happiness, but this belief hands our well-being to external forces beyond our control. The fear of losing wealth, for example, can drive obsessive financial decisions that sacrifice time and peace. The need for social approval can lead us to conform rather than act authentically. Even our love for others, when rooted in fear of loss, can morph into control or dependence. Epictetus advised treating life like a dinner party, taking what comes with moderation and letting go of what passes by. To apply this, ask, what am I attached to in this situation that I believe is essential to my happiness? Suppose you're hesitant to leave a toxic job because it provides financial security. Recognize that your attachment to this security may be costing you mental health and growth opportunities. By loosening this attachment, perhaps by exploring new career paths or building a financial safety net, you free yourself to make choices aligned with your deeper values. Distinguishing true goods from false goods. Society bombards us with false goods, material wealth, social status, instant gratification that promise happiness but deliver emptiness. The Stoics emphasize that true goods, like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, build character and lasting fulfillment. False goods, like impulsive purchases or gossip, offer fleeting pleasure at the expense of integrity. Consider a common scenario: scrolling social media instead of working on a meaningful project. The instant gratification of likes and notifications feels good, but it's a false good that erodes productivity and self-respect. Ask, am I mistaking a false good for a true one? If the answer is yes, redirect your energy toward a true good, like completing a task that aligns with your long-term goals. This shift from fleeting pleasure to enduring values strengthens your character and moves you closer to your potential. Accepting the uncontrollable, focusing energy wisely. Much of our stress comes from trying to control what's beyond our reach: other people's actions, market trends, or past mistakes. This futile struggle drains our energy and clouds our judgment. The wrong choice isn't failing to predict the future. It's obsessing over it to the point of paralysis. It's not avoiding risk. It's refusing to act without absolute certainty. Active acceptance is the Stoic solution. Instead of fighting reality, embrace it and focus on what you can control: your actions, attitudes, and responses. Ask, what can I change and what must I accept? For example, you can't control a sudden economic downturn, but you can control how you adapt by diversifying your skills, cutting unnecessary expenses, or seeking new opportunities. This focus on actionable steps builds resilience and keeps you moving forward despite uncertainty. Real-world applications of the negative space framework. Let's apply the negative space decision framework to common scenarios. Career decisions. You're offered a high-paying job that requires long hours and conflicts with your values. Instead of jumping at the salary, pause. Ask, what emotion is driving this? Desire for wealth or fear of missing out? What am I attached to? The idea that money equals success? Is this a false good? The job may offer short-term financial gain, but undermine your well-being. What can I change or accept? You can't control the job market, but you can seek roles aligned with your values. Avoiding the wrong choice, taking a misaligned job, preserves your integrity and opens better paths. Relationships, you're tempted to confront a friend over a minor slight. Pause and ask, what emotion is driving this? Anger or pride? What am I attached to? The need to be right? Is this a false good? Winning an argument may feel good momentarily, but damage the friendship. What can I change or accept? You can't control your friend's actions, but you can. Choose to communicate calmly or let it go. Avoiding the confrontation may strengthen the relationship. Personal habits. You're tempted to binge watch a show instead of exercising. Ask, what emotion is driving this? Desire for comfort or avoidance? Of effort? What am I attached to? The idea that relaxation equals happiness. Is this a false good? Binge watching offers instant relief but undermines health. What can I change or accept? You can't eliminate stress, but you can choose a short workout over escapism. Avoiding. Procrastination builds discipline and self-respect. Building the habit of mindful choice, the negative space framework isn't a one-time fix. It's a habit built through consistent practice. Start by applying one question to a daily decision. For example, when tempted to overspend, ask, what emotion is driving this? If it's a desire for status, reconsider. Gradually incorporate the other questions, building a mental toolkit for discerning choices. This approach aligns with Epictetus's wisdom. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. By focusing on avoiding wrong choices driven by unchecked emotions, unhealthy attachments, false goods, or futile control, you create space for true goods. To flourish, you don't need to chase every opportunity. You need to sidestep the pitfalls that hold you back. The Stoic path forward. The Stoics believed that virtue, wisdom, courage, justice, temperance is the only true good. By avoiding choices that erode these virtues, we build a life of purpose and resilience. This doesn't mean living without desire or ambition. It means desiring and pursuing what aligns with our deepest values. It's about pausing to reflect, questioning our motivations, and choosing deliberately. Start today. The next time you face a decision, big or small, pause. Ask one of the 4 questions. What emotion is driving this? What am I attached to? Am I chasing a false good? What can I change or accept? Celebrate small wins like choosing a meaningful task over a distraction. Be kind to yourself when you slip up, but notice the patterns. Over time, these mindful choices will compound, steering you away from regret and toward a life of clarity, purpose, and fulfillment. This continuation expands the rewrite by providing practical applications, real-world scenarios, and a deeper exploration of the Stoic principles underlying the negative space decision framework. It maintains the original's focus on avoiding wrong choices while offering actionable steps for daily life. If you'd like further expansion on specific sections, alternative scenarios, or a different focus, please let me know.